कि ये पूरे संघर्ष का जो दौर चल रहा है उसमें हम सब एक साथ हैं, एक साथ रहेंगे, एक साथ चुनाव लड़ेंगे और महाराष्ट्र एक ऐसा राज्य बनेगा जहां ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सीटें इंडिया गठबंधन के हम चुनकर लेके आएंगे। हमारे में कोई मतभेद नहीं है सीट शेयरिंग में, सभी सीट पर 1 to 1 बात हो गई है और लगभग हमारी सबकी सहमति उस पर हो गई है।
महाविकास आघाड़ी में सीट शेयरिंग में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, स्मूथली होगा। महाराष्ट्र में जो सीट शेयरिंग होगा वो मेरिट के आधार पे होगा और बीजेपी को वहाँ हम महाविकास आघाड़ी करके परास्त करना है और उसके लिए हमारा पूरा प्लान तैयार हो गया।
Let's quickly cut across to my colleague Maushmi Singh, who's joining us live on what really went down behind the scenes. Maushmi, over to you.
कि सिर्फ आम आदमी पार्टी की दिल्ली पे बात हुई है, बस उस पे नहीं, किसी को बात नहीं।
Go on, Preeti, shoot your question.
Yeah. Maushmi, just give us details on what went down behind the scenes. Inconclusive yet positive. What does this mean?
Right, Preeti, you know, the leaders are tight-lipped on many issues, like what is the exact number of seats that you're planning to share, but they were very open about the fact that yes, we are all united, hum saath hai is what Sanjay Raut had to say, and also that India Alliance would back the maximum number of seats. But the two takeaways that I gathered from the meeting, one, Preeti, that they are going to be really accommodative of the smaller outfits like Shetkari Sangathan and Prakash Ambedkar's party, and even perhaps the left could bag one seat, or the left could be accommodated in some manner. The other big takeaway really is that the Shiv Sena UBT is going to get the maximum number of seats, is going to bag the maximum number of seats, considering its previous performance in the previous Lok Sabha, because last time round it was the Congress and the NCP that went together, and that's really clear from our sources that the Shiv Sena UBT clearly with its outfit and the organization and past performance would get perhaps more than 15 seats, perhaps 16 or 17, the number could hover around that, and the NCP and the Congress would share equal number of seats, the remaining given to the smaller outfits.
You know, Maushmi, give us some details, because the last time around the state units, which include the tall leaders from the Congress party, had dug in their heels like Ashok Chavan and said that nothing doing, no 23 seats. Have the state units taken a back seat now? Is the Congress accommodative of the 23 demand of the Uddhav Sena?
That's right. You know that the Uddhav Sena has pitched a whooping 23. Sanjay Raut, in fact, setting that tall claim for the Uddhav Sena earlier in the day. But the fact is that today's meeting, Preeti, could merely be considered a formality and optics, considering maybe the finer details, the larger details are being chalked out in these meetings, but the final outcome or perhaps the final thrashing will happen when the next meeting happens, where the bigwigs would be there, would be present. That is Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar meeting Kharge and Rahul Gandhi, and that could be around the 12th or the 13th. Remember, 14th is the Nyaya Yatra, so it has to be before or after that. And also, the Uttar Pradesh meeting is slotted yet again on the 12th. It's back the record for the shortest meeting. I can tell you that because it just ended in minutes. Ram Gopal Yadav walked out in minutes from Mukul Vasnik's residence. I thought he was marching out in anger. Didn't seem so angry, but didn't seem too pleased about the mention of Mayawati, and said we've already dug in our heels and bitten our fingers last time round when we were with Mayawati and she broke the alliance. So I think Uttar Pradesh is a rough territory that the Congress will yet
You know, Maushmi, Uttar Pradesh will be the sticking point. Final question, if you can make it brief. Word has it that the Congress is keen, overtures being sent to Mayawati, Akhilesh Yadav not happy at all.
Right, so Akhilesh Yadav made it very, apparently very clear to the Congress that if there's a Mayawati, there's no Akhilesh and there's no Samajwadi Party. And remember, last time round when I spoke to Ram Gopal Yadav and said, Mayawati is giving you a warning and the India Alliance a warning, he said, Chodo Mayawati. So, Chodo Mayawati ko. So, that was his reaction, a very irritable Ram Gopal Yadav. Of course, the Samajwadi Party knows that the vote transfer from the BSP is not much to the Samajwadi Party when they fight together. So we will have to really wait and see whether it's a time-buying tactic by either sides.
Appreciate you joining us, Moshmi, and you're bang on there because the last time the BSP fought with the SP, the vote transfer took place, Samajwadi Party to BSP, but it didn't happen the other way around, and that is what has burnt the Samajwadi Party and Akhilesh Yadav. We're going to keep the spotlight on what's going on in terms of the backstage of it all, but more news break coming in. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav will have a series of visits to Bihar. Mohan Yadav will come to Patna on January 18th. Bihar BJP will give a grand welcome to the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. He will participate in the program of Shri Krishna Chetna Vichar Manch. It seems going forward, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister will be campaigning heavily where the state of Bihar is concerned. And I would reckon, viewers, if you're wondering why the MP Chief Minister is campaigning in Bihar, all you need to do is focus on his last name, which is Yadav. Mohan Yadav will be campaigning in the state of Bihar with a sizable Yadav population in contention to the RJD's Yadav Parivar, which is Lalu Yadav as well as Tejasvi Yadav. All right, loads of politics speaking. What you just heard was the going-ons within the India Alliance. Let's shift the focus a bit now to the Ram Temple politics. Polls, politics and the Ram Temple. All three of them coming in together, viewers. The Ram Mandir has been right in the focus of many political as well as legal battles. 22nd of this month is when the inauguration ceremony of the Ram Mandir takes place, and it's not without politics. Have invitations gone out? Have they not gone out? Well, most chief ministers say we haven't been invited yet. Will certain ministers attend? Will certain opposition leaders attend? We don't quite know. But commentary is rife. The latest to join in on all of this, while certain opposition parties are keeping a safe distance, where it's a dilemma on what to say where the Ram Mandir is concerned for at least the India Alliance. Some of them are being very vocal. Mamata Banerjee from the TMC, one of them. Where today, when asked on the issue of Ram Mandir whether she will attend, she says, you know, that aside, but she will not allow the BJP to make a gimmick out of something which is pious and devotional. She also said that the BJP is trying to divide people, divide communities, and this is nothing but a spectacle show and not a show of faith or devotion. Here's more.
কালকে আমায় জিজ্ঞেস করছিল রাম মন্দির নিয়ে আপনার কি বক্তব্য, যেন আর কোনো কাজ নেই, একটাই কাজ। আমি বললাম ধর্ম যার যার নিজের, উৎসব কিন্তু সবার। আমি সেই উৎসবে বিশ্বাস করি যে উৎসব সবাইকে নিয়ে চলে, সবাইকে নিয়ে কথা বলে, একতার কথা বলে। আপনারা করছেন, করুন না, কে আপত্তি করেছে? আপনারা কোর্টের আন্ডারে করছেন, ইলেকশনের আগে একটা গিমিক শো করবেন বলে, আমার কোনো আপত্তি নেই তো। কিন্তু তাই বলে অন্য সম্প্রদায়ের মানুষকে অবহেলা করা এটা কারো কাজ নয়। তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস যতদিন থাকবে, তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসের সরকার যতদিন থাকবে, আমি আপনাদের কাছে ওয়াদা করে যাচ্ছি, আমি আপনাদের কাছে শপথ করে যাচ্ছি, আমি আপনাদের ঈশ্বরের শপথ করে বলছি, আল্লাহর কসম খেয়ে বলছি, মনে রাখবেন আমি কোনো দিনও হিন্দু মুসলমান শিখ খ্রিস্টান তপশিলি আদিবাসীদের ভাগাভাগি করতে দেব না।
सभी लोगों को, राम भक्तों को अक्षत दे करके निमंत्रण देते हैं प्राण प्रतिष्ठा में, और दे रहे हैं पूरे घर घर घूम करके। प्राण प्रतिष्ठा एक महायज्ञ होता है, और ये जिनको बुरा लगता है बुरा लगे, जिनको गाली देना है गाली दें। हिंदू धर्म को गाली देना बड़ा आसान है, लेकिन कोई व्यक्ति मुस्लिम धर्म को गाली नहीं दे सकता।
The Ram Temple, a dilemma where the opposition is concerned, some of them vocal. On the other hand, the BJP very clear in saying at least where politics over the Ram Mandir is concerned, especially on this particular issue of what Mamata Banerjee says, the BJP says that this is politics of appeasement or something which is anti-Hindu. Let's take it to our panelists this evening. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Sri Raj Nair, Spokesperson, VHP; Manojit Mondal, Political Analyst; Vivek Sela, Spokesperson, Samajwadi Party. Manojit Mondal, what exactly did Mamata Banerjee mean when she said that the BJP indulging in politics of divisiveness, where it's not sabka saath, and they are trying to put out what is a spectacle, gimmickry, not a show of devotion? What does this mean?
No, I think what is quite apparent and what has been happening in this country in the last 8-9 years, that's for all of you to see the kind of language used by the BJP leaders against a particular community, including the Prime Minister. Kapda dekh ke pata chalta hai ye log kaun hai. I'm not even mentioning the name of this person who was quoted saying, Mr. Giriraj Singh. Everyone knows the kind of language that he used. And on top of this, Preeti, what was fundamentally wrong was that it was legitimized in the form of a law called CAA. That has never happened in this country. When you are actually by law, you are excluding a particular community from getting citizenship of this country. Rather, you are also trying in the same vein to drive certain community out of this country on the basis of religion. That has never happened. I mean, this kind of rhetoric has been there since 1980s, and then you had the demolition of Babri. That has been always there. But what is very, very new by this dispensation, this has been legitimized. In the same vein, I think religion has been formally weaponized by these people. When it becomes a kind of state weapon to subjugate and also to particularly oppress a certain class of people. That's where lies the problem. We, the people of India, or even All India Trinamool Congress, does not believe in this kind of divisiveness. For us, in the real sense of the term, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, this is not a slogan. In fact, let us know that Lord Rama also stands for justice and equity. These people do not believe. You have seen what happened yesterday in Supreme Court. What happened? They were slapped. The particularly Gujarat government was slapped by the Supreme Court of India for releasing these victims and garlanding them. That is not justice. That is not the philosophy or essence of Lord Rama. BJP does not believe in the real sense of Hinduism. They only believe in a distorted version of Hinduism.
All right, Sanju Verma, please respond. You're being charged by legitimizing majoritarianism in a country which is steeped in democracy. Sanju Verma, that question's for you. Can you hear me? Can Sanju Verma hear me? Ms. Verma, can you hear me? All right, we seem to have lost Sanju Verma. We're going to try and connect to her. But, you know, Manojit Mondal, one would suggest that maybe what is wrong, this has been a part of the manifesto of the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's also something that they have promised, which they are delivering. And why try and drag, you know, the issue of faith, the issue of devotion in the realms of appeasement to a particular majority community? What is wrong if the Mandir, which has come through the Supreme Court, is being inaugurated? What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I think
on what count is it a spectacle?
No. Mamata has also made it amply clear. There is nothing wrong in it. But when you use that particular religion or the kind of distorted version of religion for oppressing people, I mean, you can't jump in front of the mosque in the name of Ram Janmabhoomi at the same time, what you are doing in Bengal. I mean, you celebrate Lord Rama, you also celebrate Rahim at the same time. But you celebrate Lord Rama and the other day, you are creating mayhem in front of a particular mosque or a particular class of people. That's simply not done. What Mamata was trying to
I just want to ask Vivek Silas, who's there from the Samajwadi Party. Okay, Vivek Silas, do you concur with your ally of the India Alliance that The BJP is trying to put forth what is a spectacle, what is gimmickry and not devotion. Do you agree?
Initial part of your question, but I got yours of what you were trying to ask me. Very good.
Do you agree? Does the Samajwadi Party, Vivek Silas, agree with the TMC that this is gimmickry by the BJP?
I think, ma'am, again, you are not very clearly audible. I just want to say that the Samajwadi, it's not just the Samajwadi Party, but it's also the saints like Nishlagan Saraswati ji, Swami Shri Bhakti Krishna ji, Swami Avika Teshwara ji, and Swami ji Satanand Maharaj ji. These are the top four, the leaders of the Hindu community in India. They have also said that the Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to polarize the event. And that is very, very well visible, And Bharatiya Janata Party, I can just say the Bharatiya Janata Party is using Lord Ram Mandir as a political tool, nothing more than that. What we can see, as said by late Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, that religion with politics is poisonous for the country. That is what he said.
All right, Sanju Verma today. Okay, I have Sanju Verma back. I think she can hear me now. Sanju Verma, today you're being charged by the TMC and the opposition for legitimizing majoritarianism in a country which is supposed to be steeped in secularism and democracy.
Okay. Preeti, yes, there was a problem with my audio. I've come in slightly late into the debate. But from whatever I could gather, I have this to say. India is 80% Hindu population. And imagine, despite that, despite the fact that Muslims are not a minority, Muslims are actually the second largest majority, constituting 14.5% of the population. More than 31% of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is allocated to minorities, especially Muslims. More than 33% of Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana is allocated to minorities, particularly Muslims. More than 36% of Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana is dedicated to minorities, especially Muslims. More than 37% of Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is dedicated to minorities, particularly Muslims. So the statistics show that, as far as the welfare politics of Narendra Modi government goes, he has never discriminated based on religion, caste, creed, what have you. That is my point number one. My point number two is this. On the one hand, the opposition says BJP is pursuing a majoritarian agenda. And on the other hand, they say that why is BJP trying to appropriate credit for the Bhavya Ram Mandir consecration ceremony on the 22nd of January, which means that the opposition is confused. इसे कहते हैं शादी का लड्डू वाला syndrome. If they give credit to BJP for the Ram Mandir, they are doomed. If they don't give credit to BJP for the Ram Mandir, then also they are doomed because they will be considered as anti-Hindu. My point number three, for those who say that the BJP is conveniently trying to take credit, let me educate them. पढ़ लिख कर आया करिए debate पर. BJP brought the Ram Mandir issue onto the center stage of the Indian political landscape by way of the Palampur resolution way back in 1989. 34 years hence, while it is true that the historic Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir is coming into play thanks to that historic judgment on the 9th of November 2019 by the Supreme Court. But I have this to ask the opposition. Governments came, governments went. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, Deve Gowda was the Prime Minister, Chandrasekhar was the Prime Minister, I.K. Gujral was the Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, Pandit Nehru was the Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. ये क्या coincidence है क्या? That only under the aegis of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Bhavya Ram Mandir is coming up. So this has clearly rattled the anti-Hindu, lobby. And the more important thing is this. You tell me one thing, Preeti. This is the same Prime Minister who visited the Grand Istiqlal Mosque in Indonesia in 2018. This is the same Prime Minister who was the first Prime Minister in post-independent India to visit a Muslim country like Bahrain in 2019. This is the same Prime Minister who not only visited Israel in 2017, but visited Ramallah, a Muslim-centric place, in 2018. This is the same Prime Minister who also was awarded the Grand Order of the Nile by the Muslim nation of Egypt as recently as June 2023. And this is the same Prime Minister who very unapologetically goes to Ajmer. वहां जाकर ये दरगाह पर चादर चढ़ाते हैं. He goes and very unapologetically visits the Pope at the Vatican, which he did in October 2021. And this is the same Prime Minister who also very unapologetically wears his Hindutva credentials on his sleeves.
Okay.
तो गलत क्या है? मुझे बताओ, आपकी ममता बनर्जी रोड पर बैठकर नमाज पढ़ती है, तब सब चंगासी? आपकी ममता बनर्जी says Jai Shri Ram is a war cry, तब सब चंगासी? आपकी ममता बनर्जी, banned Ram Navami and changed the name into Ranga Navami in Bengal textbooks, तब सब चंगासी? Your Mamata Banerjee banned Hanuman Jayanti, तब सब चंगासी? Your Mamata Banerjee said Durga Puja celebrations will not happen if they clash with Muharram celebrations, तब सब चंगासी? Don't sit here and lecture the BJP.
All right, okay. But Sanjeev Verma, the Prime Minister does all of that and you're bang on, but when it comes down to ticket distribution, the BJP, you don't have a single Muslim face where your cabinet is concerned. The last 5 elections, not even a single Muslim candidate. So even if it, we can come down, we can break it down in that format. So away from all of that, and I'll come back to you. I just want to bring in Sriraj Nair, spokesperson VHP, into this conversation. Mr. Nair, Ms. Verma has a plausible point where she's saying that, it's sabka saath, sabka vikas. The awas will go to everyone. That the Prime Minister's scheme do not, look at what religion that person is from, whoever it's benefiting. So there's a fair point in that. But even when you come down to Sriraj Nair, in terms of invitations, invitations have gone to an Alia Bhatt, to an Amitabh Bachchan, to an Akshay Kumar, to Ranveer Singh, not one of the Khan. So there's no representation even in that aspect. That is something which is being pointed out, that maybe this is just a majoritarian festival of sorts.
Nothing like that. See, now as Sanju Verma rightly said, Ram Mandir was a part of the parliament, their resolution, and it was there in the successive manifesto. And Madam Mamata Banerjee was a part of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. That time she had no issues. Now the problem is, as the date is nearing, all these so-called allies of the dotted parties are tensed. They know that in the forthcoming 2024 elections, because of their anti-Hindu, repeated anti-Hindu stance and repeatedly appeasing the minority Muslims, or the so-called second largest majority Muslims, and abusing Hindus, mocking Hindus, ridicule Hindus, now they are going to be wiped out. So this is a big area of worry. Now the only thing left is to abuse the Prime Minister, or bring some issues with regards to the temple inauguration or the Pran Pratishtha, but nothing is going to work. They are going to be more tense. Post 22nd, we are going to have Lok Sabha election somewhere in April or May. Now the dates are going to be inner, and they are going to be wiped out electorally. So nothing is going to work.
But
These
Sriraj
people
Nair,
are absolutely opportunist people.
I have a following
Mamata
question.
Banerjee, madam,
You
has no
yourself
problem
say this
being
is
in the
nothing to do
government.
with, sir, Mr. Nair, you say this is nothing to do with politics. This is about devotion, this is about faith. In the same sequence of events, you've equated two things together. You have equated the inauguration of the Ram Mandir on the 22nd, and in 3 months or 2 months elections, and the opposition will be wiped out. How can you then say one and not stand with the other?
Please come back.
So he can't hear it now.
Mr.
He
Nair,
can't hear
okay.
this question.
The
He can't hear this
question is, you have equated, you yourself say devotion, faith has nothing to do with politics. In your statement, you've equated both of them, saying 22nd is Ram Mandir opening, 2 months after this, the entire opposition is wiped out. What's the connection, sir? If there is one, then admit it.
Yes, the connection is, these people, this dotted alliance partners of the so-called secular brigade, they roped in the best of the lawyers so that they could ensure that Ram Mandir should never come in existence. They tried their level best to appease Muslims, that
So
the Ram
Sriraj
Mandir,
Nair,
they wrote in the
you
best
admit
and best
this
of
is
lawyers,
political
but
as well.
again the Supreme Court gave
So this is
order
political
in
then.
favor of
Okay,
Ram
closing
Mandir,
comments. I'm
and now
sorry,
they
I'm
are
running
not
out
able
of
to
time.
digest.
We've got some of you much
So that
later.
is the reason
But I'm going to give
these
1 minute
Ram
to Manojit
Drohis
Mandal,
are
1 minute
going to be
to
wiped out.
Sanju Verma.
Hindus have awakened. Hindus
But
have
sir,
polarized.
you have agreed this is political, and that's it. That's fine. As long as there is agreement to that. This is as much to do with religion as it is to do with faith, as it is to do with politics, is what you're saying.
Hindus of this country have awakened.
Okay, sir, got it.
How
No
long
arguments.
will you make them
Manojit
second-class
Mandal, 30
citizens?
seconds, and then I'm going to cut across to Sanju Verma for the same amount of time. Closing comments.
Please ask him to
Go
be
ahead,
tolerant.
Manojit Mandal.
A real Hindu must be tolerant. You learn Hinduism from Ramakrishna Paramahansadev and Swami Vivekananda. When he says that I'm proud to belong to a country that shelters people of all religion and on faith. Incidentally, Narendra Modi, the name Naren comes from the original name of
Okay.
Swami Vivekananda. He was also called Narendra Swami Vivekananda. And Prime Minister
Okay.
knows this. Follow Swami Vivekananda in the real sense
Okay.
of the term.
All right,
Not
30 seconds
people
right
like
now
Giriraj and
to... Okay,
others.
1 second. 30 seconds. Sanju Verma, please conclude.
Thank you. Preeti, I just have this to say to the opposition. जब हमने कहा था राम मंदिर वहीं बनाएंगे, you said तारीख तो बताओ. अब हमने तारीख भी बता दी. The consecration ceremony is just a few days away. आपके पेट में उबाल आ रहा है, अच्छी बात है. But don't forget the historic 1995 judgment by the Supreme Court,
Okay.
where the Supreme Court also said that Hinduism is a way of life. So I am, as a practicing Hindu, saying I am very proud of the Ram Mandir consecration ceremony,
Okay.
which will be presided over by none other than the leader of the largest democracy in the world, that is Prime Minister Narendra
Okay, but
Modi.
no, this is a
And if
Supreme
Mamata
Court decision.
Banerjee
No,
has problems,
Sanju Verma.
so be it.
This
Mamata
is also
Banerjee
a
has
Supreme Court
problems too
decision.
bad.
Okay, all right.
Mamata
Okay.
Banerjee has problems too bad.
Okay, Mamata Banerjee has
Learn to
problems
live
too
with
bad.
it.
That is what the BJP
Learn
is
to
saying.
live
With
with
that,
it.
we're going to end the debate. I appreciate all our panelists for joining us. It's a debate which is going to continue in days to come and possibly even after that. A quick break. Stay with us. On the other side, Rahul Kamal.